helpful and probably the most important exercise of this entire video. And it gives me a sort of grip, a sort of security when I'm playing the octave passage at a fast speed. Hi everyone, this is Danai, and in today's video we will be talking about classical broken octaves. Last week I made a video about broken intervals and a bit of a special scenario when it comes to broken octaves that we're going over several octaves with repetitions, but today I will be covering the classical broken octaves. I've gotten multiple requests from you to do that. There are so many passages like that in Mozart repertoire, Schumann repertoire, just the classical octaves that go in upwards and downwards motions in scales, chromatic scales, or just normal scales, but in broken octave form. So today I will be talking about how I practice those and what I look out for when I play them. So if you're interested in that, then keep on watching. So first of all, as always, when I have a technically hard passage, I play through the passage slowly. Today, I chose a passage from a Mozart piano concerto simply because these are the most common scenario I find, and this is something that you will find so often in Mozart piano concertos. So this is just a very classical broken octave passage from a Mozart piano concerto. I have some broken octaves in the right hand, some in the left hand, and then there is also a passage where both hands are playing them. So I thought that this would be perfect to demonstrate. As the name already suggests, broken octaves are octaves simply broken. So the first thing that I do when I practice such a passage is to play the passage as actual octaves. Because I find that the key thing to remember is that your hand should be in the octave position all the time, more or less, and then simply moving the wrist like that in this rotating motion in order to achieve the broken octaves. So I try to not think of the broken octaves as two individual notes, but of course as an octave and then just an octave played like that with this rotating wrist. My arm is completely in the same position and my fingers are in the octave position and my wrist is basically creating the broken octave. So the first exercise is that I play the entire passage as octaves, as if it were written with octaves, but without them being broken. The second exercise, which is one that also applies to octaves in general, not just broken octaves, is to focus on the thumbs. The thumbs are incredibly important because they are the easiest way to focus on one finger only when playing complicated octave passages. No matter if you're playing the right or the left hand, your eyes will focus on the thumbs, your thumbs will lead the entire octave passage, and the fifth or fourth finger, depending on which finger you use to play the octave, will come automatically all by itself. So I always practice the thumbs in an isolated way and separately. I will go through the entire octave passage just by playing the thumb only and really making sure that my thumb is leading my hand, guiding my hand into the different octave positions. Now, mind you, when I practice the thumb only, I don't have my hand in the octave position. I have the other fingers completely relaxed and play the thumb only. Same with the left hand. And then only later when I add in the entire octave, I get into the octave position. But it is so helpful and probably the most important exercise of this entire video to practice the thumb alone and to focus on the thumb and make sure that your thumb will lead the entire passage. The thumb carries this entire passage in both hands. Also, just simply visually, when you're looking at your fingers, when playing the octaves, don't look at the fifth finger or the fourth finger. Don't look on the outside because you'll be playing like this. Just focus on the thumb, which is nice on the inside for both hands. It's what's closest to your vision. Focus on the thumb only and make sure that your hand automatically knows where an octave is. Now, in this specific case, focusing on the thumb in the right hand works perfectly well because the thumb also plays the downbeat. However, in the left hand, the downbeat is played by the outer notes, so by the fifth and the fourth finger. This is why I will also practice the fifth and the fourth finger in an isolated way in the left hand, because this is what's going to be the heavy beat in the end. So I still think it's very important to look at the thumb because this is what is easiest for your vision and also just for control in order to control the octave. But in this specific case, I would also recommend practicing the fifth and fourth fingers separately, the outer voice of the octave separately, simply because that's the voice that is on the heavy downbeat in this case. The next exercise that I would recommend is to then play octave by octave. So you really break it down to the smallest possible sections and practice octave for octave. So you play one octave, then stop on the next thumb, play the next octave. And this is simply to create a completely automatic procedure when it comes to your fingers recognizing where they have to go when it comes to octaves. So you will go through every single octave and just play it really quickly as if it's just a flick of the hand, so to speak, focusing on the thumb only, and then just having the upper note come automatically, and go like that through the entire passage, octave for octave. Same in the left hand. Again, here giving a little more focus also on the outer voice because that is the one that's on the downbeat, but visually still focusing on the thumb. technical side concerning the octaves, these are the main exercises that I do. Of course, in addition to that, I will also do some of the exercises that I do in general when it comes to fast passages. For example, playing 4 slow notes and 4 fast notes, or creating little sections and then gradually increasing them. So for example, starting with a quarter bar, then going to a half bar, then a full bar. But I don't want to get too much into these exercises because I have mentioned them a lot in the past as well. So definitely check out my videos on how to practice fast passages, how to master fast passages, because I mentioned those exercises in detail there. Today, I want to focus on the exercises that are specifically geared towards playing octaves. So from the technical side, that's it. However, I do want to mention a couple more thoughts that really help me mentally when I play these octave passages. One of these thoughts is that I imagine the lower note, which is in this case the note that is on the downbeat or on the heavy beat, to be longer. So in my right hand, that is the thumb, and I actually play it longer and hold it sometimes while I'm playing the upper note, and then I lift it, and then while lifting the thumb, I lift the upper note as well, and then when playing the new thumb, again, I hold it a bit longer. That way, it reminds me of that exercise where I isolated the thumb, and it gives me a sort of grip, a sort of security when I'm playing the octave passage at a fast speed, to really hold the thumb a bit longer for every octave, and also creating that feeling of actually playing an octave. It's just a little detail, and it really is minimal. It's just a split second, but it really helps me mentally to hold the thumb a bit longer. Same in the left hand. In that case, I will hold the 5th finger a bit longer. Again, this is a bit of an added difficulty because it's always easier to have to hold the thumb a bit longer because that's the one you focus on visually anyway. But here I will hold the 5th and 4th fingers a bit longer, which is why I also practice those in an isolated way and create a melodic line with those. And that will also give me a bit of extra security. My second mental tip is to really focus on the melodic line. And what I mean by that is to not simply think of the octave passage as a technically hard octave passage that you have to play perfectly with all the right notes, but to actually think of it as a musical line, which of course it is. This is a part of a Mozart concerto, which is not supposed to sound like an octave study. It is supposed to sound beautiful and musical. So I will focus on the musical line, the way it goes upwards and downwards. For example, the line goes up and it goes down again. And when playing the octave passage, I will focus on that. I will start a little more piano, go slightly upwards, then go slightly downwards. And focusing on the music behind a technically hard passage always helps to master the technical side of it as well. It's funny because when we fill our head with thoughts that are connected to being musical and to sounding good, sometimes the technical difficulty already becomes easier. So these were my tips when it comes to practicing and playing broken octaves. Let me know if this was helpful, and please add your tips in the comments down below, or your practicing methods if I missed anything, or if you have an entirely different practice method that works for you when it comes to broken octaves. Please share it with us. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like and subscribe to my channel. That would help me a lot. And I will see you again in my next video next week. Bye.